Welcome to another edition of Behind the Gate with Scott and Kate. I'm your one of the hosts here tonight, Scott Waddell, along with my co-host Caitlin Wesley. And in just a moment, we'll have a special guest. Wanted to first of all thank our sponsors once again, 12 Company Fire and Command. And we're really happy to tell you that we've got a new sponsor coming up soon for some future episodes, and that is Denmark Acre Standardbred Racing and Breeding, who is standing Matt American for the 2024 breeding season. So tonight we welcome a young maritime driver from, I call it the Kentucky of Canada, Prince Edward Island. And this guy has started 2024 already, because he races over at Red Shores, and they raced at the first of the year this year. And he got underway with a 13 wins already this season and just 32 drives. He's driving at 524 driving average. So no pressure, Brady. We got to keep that going.
Yeah,
And so far, Brady has 48 wins, over $120,000 in purse money. And we're certainly glad to have him here tonight. So I'll send it over to my co-host, Caitlin Wesley, to formally introduce our special guest tonight, Brady Sweet.
Thanks, Scott. Yeah, I'm so excited to get to know you, Brady. We've seen you on TV on the live stream for Red Shores, and you definitely can drive, that is for sure. Your name has come up numerous of times within the podcast from many drivers over the Maritimes. So it's exciting to have you on, and welcome aboard.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're definitely talked about, that's for sure. We had some Red Shores drivers on earlier in our podcast this season, and there was two or three at least that kind of brought up your name when we asked them if there's any, drivers that they were kind of looking at that were doing things the right way and that they could see a bright future for. And your name came up quite a bit. So that's great news.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So we'll get right underway here, Brady. So how did you first get involved in racing over in Prince Edward Island?
Goes back quite a ways, I guess. The Sweets have horses. And when I was younger, my father used to take me down to the barns all the time.
Yeah.
And then my great uncle Alan Sweet, he had horses, and he was kind of getting out of it, So he turned them over to me and my father, and started jogging about 8 years old or so, and just kind of kept going there.
So was Claire, I remember back in my Exhibition Park Raceway days, Claire Sweet, is that your grandfather?
That'd be another great uncle.
Oh, a great uncle. Okay. Yeah, because he raced a number of horses. I know he used to come over to St. John a fair bit.
Yeah, they all got their horses.
Yeah, so it's kind of a family, you would say, kind of got you introduced to the sport, just being around other members of your family?
Yeah, I'd say that's what it was.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, Kate, go ahead.
You have been driving since 2021, and 2023 season was your best year yet. You're going into 24 with hot hands as well, with a huge start. Could you pick out a couple of your exciting moments throughout, 2023 season that you really thought were highlights in your career?
I'd have to say getting my first Old Home Week win last year. Longest shot on the board. That was pretty nice.
Who was that, bro? Brady.
That was Counter Currency.
Oh, okay. Yes. You came from off the pace, I think, to win that, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that now. Sorry to interrupt you. Keep going.
And then I'd say another one would be getting my first driving triple.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
you kind of split your time between both Summerside Red Shores and Charlottetown Red Shores during the racing season, don't you?
Yeah. I race all of my own at Summerside, and then I drive quite a bit for Jeff in Charlottetown. And
Yeah, how did that come about? I know Jeff's been certainly putting up some impressive numbers over at Red Shores the last little while. How did it come about that you got to drive some of his horses that are, really, really racing well?
Jeff actually goes with my sister.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
Kind of part of the family there now, I guess.
Oh, good, good. So, as far as people in the industry, Brady, that you may look up to, do you have any kind of role models or mentors so far in your young career?
Yeah, just all the top guys at Charlottetown, Summerside. Just always wanted to be like them growing up.
Yeah.
My father, I guess, he used to drive in the matinees and watching him drive and just go with them guys.
So, what about drivers that you're competing against now? Do you have any that you kind of look up to or that you try and emulate a little bit their style or anything like that?
Mark Campbell, and Corey McPherson, they're all real good drivers. I'd like to be just as good as them sometime, hopefully.
Well, the way you're
Someday.
going, you're certainly on the right path.
Thanks.
Can you tell us about your experience within the Gamester Pinckney driving series? Because you've been in it, I think, twice now, and you've dominated pretty good. So, what is your experience on that?
I think it's a good event. You get to go drive different horses and compete against people who are close to the same age, and it's just a fun event.
So far in your career, Brady, who would you say is your favorite horse to drive? I know I've got a couple that you drive that I really like, and I think one of the horses actually you got your first win with, and that was Burnout Hanover. I think
Yeah.
yeah, that was a Boxing Day, I think.
Not my first ever win was on Burnout Hanover in July
Oh, okay. Okay.
in 54, I think 54 and 3. But he's not the easiest horse to drive, but he's pretty quick. So that'll really
Yeah.
shine. You have to be.
Yeah, he loves me. Yeah, we're gonna talk about him a little bit, but Burnout Hanover, like you say, just he reminds me a little bit of Elroy Shiner. Actually, they both got great gate speed, and they're both tough as nails. So, do you think they kind of have similar styles a little bit?
Yeah, I'd say they're pretty well the same style, just different caliber kind of horses. But
So, if you had to put one horse that you've driven so far, who would be your favorite to drive?
I have to go with Elroy Shiner right now.
Yeah. And why is that? Just the way he races, how game he is?
Yeah, he's a fun horse to drive. He's not too aggressive or nothing. He just goes out and does his thing.
Awesome. There's been a number of guests that we've had on the podcast, including Mark Campbell, who's mentioned your name when asked about the upcoming drivers in the industry. How does it make you feel that he sees something within you?
Feels pretty good coming from a guy like Mark.
So, do you have any type of goals for this year, Brady? I know you're getting close to 50 career wins. Do you have any goals you're kind of striving for as you go into the racing season starting up in May?
I'd just like to get more wins every year. Be nice, or a higher average every year. Can't really get much higher right now. Finish off the year high.
Well, you're off to a good start. Like we said, you've got 13 wins already. So, continued success this year. I know you've got a number of great horses that you get a chance to drive, and hopefully that hot streak that you've started out with will continue for you.
Yeah, I'm pretty fortunate to drive for Jeff. Sure helps a lot.
Yeah. So do you think out of Burnout Hanover and the other fella, Elroy Shiner, who would you think kind of had the biggest impact on your career so far?
Kind of hard to say, I guess. Elroy's won quite a few last year for me, but Burnout gave me my first driving win in 54. That was pretty exciting.
Yeah. And tell us about your experience in the matinee program. I know Prince Edward Island does a fantastic job over there getting the young drivers involved at an early age. What was your experience like in the matinee program?
Oh, it was great. Get your foot in the door. You get to learn everything. And I think I started driving my first race. I was 12. The horse I was driving was 15.
Okay.
Just a great learning experience for all the kids. It's a little different going from a 4-horse field to an 8-horse field, but it sure helps.
Yeah, you probably go catch some of the younger guys that are coming up through that program now. Do you see any that are kind of jumping out at you that look good behind a horse at such a young age?
Yeah, Landon Campbell, he's coming up following his father's footsteps.
Yeah, we talked to him one night actually, just kind of off camera, and he I think we were doing the interview with Mark, and we mentioned Landon, and Mark told us that he's as competitive as he is, and he wants to, eclipse even Mark's numbers that he's putting up. So he's definitely got some lofty goals, but I know he is performing very well on the matinee circuit for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you do outside of racing? Any hobbies or interests or anything?
Right now I work full time out at
Okay.
up, and once I finish working, I usually go right to the barn, do the barn work. Me and my father do the barn work, and then by that time it's usually 9 or 9:30 or so, and I come home and do it all again the next day, I guess.
How many horses do you have in your barn right now?
I got 4 there right now. I got 2 2-year-olds, a 3-year-old, and aged horse.
How are the 2-year-olds looking so far?
They're coming along. One's looking pretty good. The other one is a little more behind, but he's starting to pick it up now.
Yeah. And did you take part in the babies this past weekend at Red Shores?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. So do you have anything else, Caitlin, for our young gun here, Brady Sweet?
I'm wondering if I could pick your brain for a second. You guys have the matinee races on PEI. Do you think it would be ideal for our Nova Scotia young drivers to have, such a program over here? Do you think it might, drive more young people to get behind the gate?
Yeah, I think it'd be good for them to pick up something like that. Would take in more people, give them the chance to learn, see if that's what they want to do, or just great for everyone.
Yeah.
So you mentioned
for my.
Oh, sorry, Kate. Go ahead.
We do the amateur races, so I'll put those amateur challenges on, or we'll put a couple of the races on during Grand Circuit Week or whatnot. And I know for myself, when I first went out for my first time, I'm like, ball of nerves, and you get behind that gate. But as soon as the gate goes and starts moving, it's the best feeling, and you get so competitive with the drivers beside you. And it's just like you wish you could give everybody that one, like that opportunity, because I think people would get hooked so fast just to get that thrill behind the gate, so they would know what it's like. And I think you would drive more people to want to drive. But I agree. I think, I think every province that has harness racing really should have a matinee circuit or have those opportunities, because really that's the only way our industry is going to grow, is with more and new drivers. Because if our older drivers end up, stop racing or anything, we're kind of in a standstill. Like, we don't have any new ones.
Yeah,
So
we
it's nice
need
to see.
we need the young people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you had mentioned earlier your old home week win. Kind of take us back, and what did that feel like? So many fans in attendance, and to get your first win. You've watched so many races old home week growing up, and just to get that win during that big week, what did that feel like for you?
Oh, it was definitely a thrill.
Yeah.
It's made it even better being the longest shot on the board, I guess. All those people there, just different than the overnight races on the weekends and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Gold Cup and Saucer, it's been getting bigger and bigger. And we had a chance to talk to Jordan Stratton a couple of episodes ago, and he hinted that Cover Bridge might be coming back to PEI this year and try and double up. So we'll see how that goes. But listen, thank you very much, Brady, taking time out of your schedule to join us. I know that you've got off to a great start in 2024, and we certainly wish you all the best.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And that's a wrap for another edition of Behind the Gate with Scott and Kate, sponsored by the good folks at 12 Company Fire and Command. And again, our next episodes, we got a couple more Maritimers, or one Maritimer is actually in Ontario, but we'll be speaking to Ben Hollingsworth, the trainer who got his start in the Maritimes. We'll talk to him coming up, as well as Amber Campbell. So we'll have those in the next two episodes of Behind the Gate with Scott and Kate. So again, thanks for joining us. This has been our 18th episode. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and don't miss an episode. So for myself, Scott Waddell, and co-host Caitlin Wesley, thanks for joining us here on Behind the Gate with Scott and Kate.